Hi, my name is Andres, and I'm here to talk about the second part of my report. In this part of the experiment, we use the same basis of the past experiment. We only add the pressure variations and its formula. I thought that it was a good idea to include it on my report because it gives us a more precise data to talk about the pressure and the changes, because in this experiment we modified the heights of the be-in tube, and the first problem that I faced was that my outside tube was not enough sealed. And well, that was one of my problems. The other one was the BEOS that didn't work in my laptop, but I made the graphs and all the equations with Excel. It helped me a lot. Well, here's the method. I use the same bottle that we used for the first experiment. We just didn't use the measurements that was on the base for the past experiment because it wasn't going to work, maybe for the first attempt with the 5 iterations, but it wasn't going to help for the rest of the experiment. Then I use a chronometer of my phone, and the other thing that I used was a ruler, a marker, and Scotch tape to try to make the new measurements in every attempt, and water. Well, this figure shows more or less what I used and the shape of my bottle. The shape of my bottle was also showing some irregularities because of the little shapes that it has on the body. And then here is my table in which we have the different measurements of the diameter and the area of the inside and the outside, and we show them in meters and in meters to the second potence. Then here's the table in which I show the average of the heights in every 5 attempts in the different heights. I chose to use 5 measurements. Maybe it would be more precise with more measurements. That's why I don't think my experiment would be that reliable, because it wasn't repeated that much. But I also thought that we were spending a lot of water, so I shorted to 5 measurements and 5 times per attempt. The first measurement was a little bit just like the first one that I did in the first part of the project, and the other ones gave me some other results, changing the heights, putting a higher height, a lower height, and we got the first table. Then here's the graphic. In the first one, it looks like this because from the 40 seconds to 70 seconds, it just went down to 0. And this is with 8 centimeters, that it's 0.08 meters. And that on and on with every graphic. This one over here, the graphic figure number 3, was the toughest because there was irregularities on my times. I couldn't figure out why. Maybe it was because of the possible seal of my outside tube. But keeping on with this, we have the table of the change in the height by the pass of the iterations with the uncertainties. And I discovered that my experiment wasn't that reliable because of maybe certain things like the time measurement, and even though we have an average, there wasn't that precise, and maybe I could use another bottle like we thought about in the class. But with the help of my elements, I got the results close to what we wanted to, but not that precise. And in conclusion, we observed that there are values that are out of range, and these values that are not on the or uncertainty makes an irregularity on my result. And I expect that my result could be taken as trustworthy, but I think we can use another measurement stuff to bring closer to the uncertainty and to the theoretical value, because I had a discrepancy of 0.2 on my experiment, and it's too high for this one. So thank you for the attention, and this is my second video for the project.